wrong about the crew Motorfest. And by that, I kind of have just lied. Because you guys think I lied when I didn't actually lie, because that was actually... Look, let me explain. I'm back on Motorfest for something really important. See, I'm not just back on Motorfest for the hell of it, because I did vow off Motorfest. In fact, right after this, I'm going right back to Forza videos. I'm gonna film some videos messing around with this bug, but they're not gonna come out for a while. Instead, I'm just gonna go back to Forza videos. But I said at the beginning of Forza month, I would come back to the game if something new was added, if something game-breaking happened. And well, what does Ivory Tower go and do the moment I switch to Forza? Apparently, this bug has been in the game since, well, I'll explain, but it was only discovered literally the exact day I switched to Forza. You can't make this up. One of the biggest broken bugs Motorfest has and maybe even will ever see. There's some things that are really, really bad about it. So this bug wasn't found by me, to clarify. It was found by OZ and Alone Ghosty. Before them, it was found by KSA, but he didn't share how he did it. He just miraculously started doing really well in the summit. And then OZ and Alone Ghosty had an inkling that that's what was going on and found the bug themselves, and they actually shared it. This bug breaks everything in this game. Everything. The summit for skills is now entirely broken. The events, because of double pure, is now entirely broken. Double XP breaks the main stage. Double bucks breaks the custom show and breaks the car buying in general. Double parts, double gold finder breaks the part grind.
What's up? I'm Rick Martinez.
Which breaks the spare parts, which breaks the recalibrating. All of it breaks the events in the game, which break the playlists, which break the legacy main stage, which break the leaderboards. Here's the issue with this. If Ivory Tower don't add this into the game as a feature, they are gonna have to remove every leaderboard in the game. Ivory Tower will have to reset every leaderboard in the game, because every single one has been affected. And as you can see, it's very, very drastically that this has been affected. Shout out to OZ, Alone Ghosty, and KSA, who originally found this. Bigger shout outs to Alone Ghosty and KSA. Bigger shout outs to Alone Ghosty and OZ, who actually shared it. So what is the, well, what's this broken bug? Let me show you some examples of this broken bug. This is a car with 196 slippery. This is my 10th place in the world position with that bug. With a slippery R car, it's a slippery R car. This is an Alpha GP car with 140% skilled. And this is my run, on my 4th place in the world run, with that skilled set. Oh god. It gets worse. It gets worse. This is my Alpha GP car with 56% XP legend. This is my Proto Alpha Mark II with 84% gold finder. This is my Concept Sprewmeister with 42% bucks. It gets worse. This is the fastest drag car in the game with, as you can see, a pure set of 70% pure on a drag car. And well, this is what happens when you use this bug. Is what I would say if you head down there and subscribe and check out the videos that I'm going to upload on each and every one of these overpowered broken sets. So, this is the bug. If you didn't catch on, essentially, the bug is that you can put the same of the... You can put 2 of the same affix on one part. That's what's going on here. If I go to any of these vehicles with this part set exploit on them, you can see I've got double skilled, I've got double pure, I've got double refill. all of those things, like the double bucks, double XP, and a lot of these things are actually better because they're so overpowered that they negate the reason for pure or refill speed. You are actively better off having just that much, just genuinely that much of this. And yes, as chat has noted, I use this bug a lot. So this is how you do it. This is a buck part. So what you do is go into here and then mess around with your affixes. And now this is where I need to make the disclaimer. You can only do this on PC, and I'll explain why. And also for some confusion, remember this menu. Remember that I can go left and right and down and select all these parts, right? Keep that in mind. So first and foremost, you want bucks on one of your parts. On the entire, out of your entire part set, you just want whichever one you're trying to get double of, you want it on one side. That's all you need. And then all you need is just one part that has the same affix on the other side. So I'm gonna do it here. I'm just gonna put bucks on this side of this part. So now I have one part with bucks on the right and one part with bucks on the left. And that's all I need to do. Because now it's as simple as this. You open the menu. Whether it's at the top or whether it's at the bottom, you just open the menu. Then you click Y or triangle for multi-scrap. This is what breaks the game. You can then close the multi-scrap menu. And now, remember that right, left, up, and down menu that I showed you? If you pay attention to right below me, you'll notice that when I click right, left, up, and down, I'm now moving through all of those parts. Like if I go one right, it'll put me back to the stock part. If I go back left, it'll put me there. If I go up, it puts me to the brakes. If I go down, it puts me to the ECU, motor core, exhaust, suspension, tires. So now I can basically, since I've taken this affix from the right of this part, I can now put it on the right of any other part. I can even put it on purple parts, which is crazy. But instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down to this one where, as you can see, I already have bucks on the left. So this is where it only works on PC, or even on the left stick. You just go up and down now. As you can see, as soon as you've done the opening the menu and then closing the menu, you can just start moving up and down with the menu still there. The reason it doesn't work on PlayStation, Xbox, is because now you need your mouse to hand select the part. When it's on the one matching, you just go click, click. And now we have double bucks. And you just do this for every one of them. You can either maximize these, then put them on the next part, and then maximize them, and then put them on the next part. But it's that simple. If you want to now go off of this, though, you'll be stuck. You just open the menu, close the menu again, and you're fine. And a quick note while I'm here, a quick tip is that if you don't want to, you know, sit here and get the one that you're looking for, you can instead look for whichever one you're looking for on any other part. And I mean any other part of any rarity. If it's a single affix part, it'll go on the left. But for purple, left and right is the exact same. So now I can go and grab, say I wanted this ventilated. I just do the exact same bug. And the funny thing about it is that now it puts it at a lower limit than you can actually get on that. Funny. But that works all across the board. You can do the same with a purple part like this. And then whack it on a gold part. So that's also a way to do this. Bingo. That's the bug. So now, I could speed run this right now for you guys. Here you go. This, Y, close it, up. And then use my mouse to double click. And then open it, close it, back. And again, go on here. There we go. Y, close it, up, double click, open it, close it, done. And we'll grab this as well. We'll just whack this over. I'm able to now put bucks on every single one of these parts. In fact, as you can see, I've become a natural at it. I will say, the biggest thing about this is that it just makes life a lot easier when it comes to recalibrating parts, right? Look, if this wasn't a double affix bug, it would just be a really nice bug to get affixes on. Oh, perfect. That one, we got a maxed out one. Lovely. We won't have to come back and recalibrate that. But then we just close it and open it. And literally while I'm explaining to you how this is kind of a good feature and also a really, really worryingly bad feature, I'm gonna manage to put it on every single part that I have before I even finish. Because that's the second to last one, and that is the last one. And now I have a bucks-only car, which now all I need to do is just sit here and maximize them. There you go, maximize. And then there you go, maximized. Done. And then you do that to all of these. There you have a double set. It's very broken, which is why I don't know if I can entirely recommend you doing it. Now, I don't think Ivory Tower will ban you. I think there's no chance Ivory Tower will ban you. You know why I don't think Ivory Tower will ban you? Because there was a game-destroying, a bug where people were managing to get from level 0 to level 9999 in days on the Crew 2, and not a single person got banned. In fact, we are yet to have a single case of anyone being banned on the Crew. I would wager to say they don't actually have the technology to do so. That's what it feels like. Let's hop in one of my boosted things. I believe which boosted part shall we have fun with today, chat? Shall we hop in the ultra skilled Lamborghini, or shall we hop in the ultra pure magma, right? What are we feeling today? Hey chat, you want to see something funny? Let me show you something really, really funny and a bit of a teaser trailer for when I do the video on the boosted ultimate pure. Let's whack it in 5th. Chat, we just went from 0 to 260 miles an hour! What are you talking about? Clean, clean, and we're at top speed. And we're at top speed. That was fun. So can you get banned, and how does Ivory Tower fix this? Because that's what I genuinely want to talk about. And if you're from Ivory Tower right now watching, stay tuned in for this bit, because it's gonna be an interesting one. What do we do for this thing? What do we do for this, right? What do we do for this broken exploit? Which I don't think is any different to any other exploit in the game, really. I don't think this is any different to, hey, a vanity item is broken and everyone using the vanity item. It's not like it's something unintended, but so is a vanity item improving a car's performance, right? And people already use the gold striped tires and the Rofo red lines, and it's not intended. It's a, hitch that the game does, but people use it. Are you gonna ban everyone who uses vanity tires? I don't think so, but not the point. That's me being pretentious. Drawing dumb parallels, because I know there's a difference between using a vanity and using an outright UI hitch. It's a bit, one's just a physics thing, one's just a UI thing. So, how does Ivory Tower fix this? One, I don't think you'll get banned, but some other things might happen to you. And that's when it comes to Ivory Tower patching this. Because will they patch it? Yeah, probably. That's one of the options. So, before I discuss patching it, let's discuss option 1. Leave it in the game. Maybe make it a feature. Maybe make it so that instead of having to do this weird parts shuffle around, still patch this way of doing it, but maybe just make it so you can get the 2 of the same affix on a part, right? Maybe just do that. Make it a feature instead of a hitch. They'd obviously have to patch this first, and then, but then that's fine. Then no damage has been done to anyone, to the game or to the players, unless Ivory Tower is really adamant about their new, basically halved affix numbers, which now are basically being doubled, that's a viable option, is just make it so it's a thing you can do. Option number 2. Double the amount, patch it first. So these are all the patch it options. Patch it first, and then double the maximum amount for every thing in the game. So make it so Nitro on its own gets maximum 10%. So instead of being 5% out of 5% here, it's 5% out of 10%. And they've patched the shuffling it around, so it just makes more sense to have it on 1. But the issue is what do you do with the parts that are already in game? The parts that people already have, because then people will be at 20% boost. We'll get onto that. Option number 3 is instead of doubling the maximum percent, instead of adding it as a feature to the game, they just patch it. They just patch it and don't adjust a single thing. That's option number 3. That's a viable option. But then we come down to the issue, which affects both this option and the last option. Because if they just make it a feature, then everyone's unaffected. Meta will shift a bit, but everyone's unaffected. Or maybe make it so that you have to pay an extra amount, so that when you click this and you get the same affix, it has a little star on it, or it has a little, like, shaky animation on it, and it says, like, this will cost 50k, right? That's valid. Look, if you want the most overpowered parts, fork over 50k a pop. I think that's completely valid. Coming from a guy who has 52 mil. But that's another option. Or at least a fix to the adding it to the game thing. A bit of a boost. But if they don't add it to the game as a feature, in the ways that I've said, the other issues that comes up with the other patches is that people have these parts now. People own these parts. I have them everywhere. Some of you guys will have them after this video. Some of the audience has them. So people have this, and people know how to do this. So if they patch it without getting rid of that, it's gonna wreak mayhem. Because yes, slowly it'll fade out and there'll be less and less people with it, and in 2 years, it'll be like an ultra rare shiny Pokemon to have, yeah, you know, I still got my doubled part sets from back when it was broken way back when. But that would cause havoc amongst the community. Now, maybe it's the kind of havoc that Motorfest are okay with ignoring. I'd hope they weren't. But if Ivory Tower went, look, we're just going to patch it and we're not going to touch anyone's parts, that's also a viable option. Then, option number 2, for what you do with the parts that already exist, is a bit more drastic. For a good reason. It's not the best option. It isn't. But the reason it's not the best option is because I don't know if they can do the other one. Option number 2, delete anyone who's done its part. Instead of banning them, delete their part. Detect if Ivory Tower even can. That's where I'm stuck. It's the Far Cry 2 game engine. Can Ivory Tower even detect for these things? If they can, detect who has these parts and delete those parts specifically if possible. Now, if Ivory Tower has the technology to do that, I need to put a massive asterisk on that Ivory Tower. If you're considering deleting the parts, make sure that a week before you say, hey guys, we're gonna delete your parts. You don't just do it in a maintenance. You tell them, hey guys, next maintenance, any double parts detected will get scrapped. That will then be their fault. I'll make a video on it. It'll be in your Twitter. It'll put it in your This Week in the Crew. Put it in your Twitter. Put it on your Instagram. Put it everywhere. So that no one has any excuses. And anyone who's done it should have every reason to have gotten rid of their doubled parts themselves. That's what needs to be done if they're gonna just scrap everyone's parts. That has to happen. It can't happen in a way where people just, you guys tell us, hey, there's a maintenance. Oh, look, all of our parts are gone. Do we deserve it for using an exploit? Sure. Could I really be mad? Probably not. Should you do that? No. But there is a third option for what you do with the parts already in-game. But it's one that I don't know if Ivory Tower can even do. Because I already think that the technology would be too limited to scan for... Look, Motorfest is a great game. It's a pretty good game. But polish-wise, it's not great. So I already don't think that they have the technology to detect double parts, right? Maybe. But the best option here, the golden option here, is, well, added to the game as a feature. But the second golden option here is patch this, detect people's golden parts, and just recalibrate them yourself. Just go through any double parts detected and go 9th, by the way, 9th in the world. Playing that, by the way, 9th in the world. We'll talk about this whole issue. But yes, the other option is just detect everyone's double parts. And Ivory Tower, if you have the technology to, just recalibrate one of their parts for them. That's all that needs to be done, is that you just go in and you recalibrate one of their parts for them. But that already sounds so finicky. Because we're not only adding on detecting who's got double parts, switching their double parts on the, like, files, on the servers, going onto their double parts and recalibrating one of their affixes, and assuming nothing goes wrong in any of that process, and simply patch this double thing out of the game. That's the option, Ivory Tower. That's the golden option. Golden option 2, put it in the game as a feature, but just make it really expensive. That adds progression. That adds progression. I'm just saying. So chat, which one do you think Ivory Tower should do? Do you think they go hardcore and just ban everyone? Do I get banned? Is that how this works, chat? They ban me? Or do they just delete the parts, but with a warning? Or do they add it as a feature? Or do they recalibrate people's parts for them and then patch it? Obviously, patch it has to happen with those and not the add it into the game thing. Because this bug is insane. And honestly, if I'm being deadly honest about this bug, it's just kind of satisfying. It's just, by the way, if you didn't know, you can also bring over parts from blue sets. You can bring this blue affix 1, 2, 3 onto a gold part. And now, chat, I have a 0.5% on a 0.8 to 2% part. But there you have it. The most broken bug Motorfest has ever seen, and the spawn of a brand new series I'm going to be holding on this channel, the Doubled Affix series, where I'm going to film these videos, hopefully before this gets patched, where I'm going to go into the game and have as much fun as I can with these doubled affixes before they get removed from the game. So that's the plan. So unfortunately, I might have to actually do another Motorfest stream at one point. I'm sorry, Forza viewers. I'm sorry. We're still doing Forza month, though. Don't worry. The videos are still going to be Forza, except for like one a week. But I'll just do like one Motorfest stream next week, maybe. Thank you to popular members, a special thank you to famous members, and an insane thank you to star members Grim Pepper and Extreme Speed, and an insane top of the top thank you to icon members HK. I will see you boys in the next one. I'm going to keep streaming though. That's going to be about it from me in a bit.